Hey guys, just telling you what's going to happen going forward and what my plans are with the channel. Well, as you know, Brandon has been working very hard with the show, and I think he's done an excellent job. So I've decided to walk away and leave Brandon with the entire show. So he will get the channel and he's able to do whatever he wants with it. If he wants to rebrand it, if he wants to put a new name on it, if he wants to put new logos on it, he can do all of that. So as of today, Brandon is now the new channel owner of Ranty. This means that I won't be hosting any more of the shows. In fact, the entire channel will go to Brandon. What does that mean for me? Well, it just means that as much as I am still obviously a flat earther, I've just come to the end of my journey on YouTube in this particular subject, because for me, it was decided years ago. I could see boats in the distance that I shouldn't be able to see. I could see land in the distance that I shouldn't be able to see if we lived on the globe. For me, that was all the proof I needed. The years of research and the years of debating have cemented my position in that we do live on a flat plane. However, that's as far as I want to do now. That's all I need to do now. I don't need to push it any further. So, I'm going to leave the show in Brandon's very capable hands, and he is, I am sure, going to do an excellent job. So, I would ask that you stay with the show, keep subscribed to Brandon, because whatever he does with the show, it will be entirely up to him now. I'm sure he'll keep my old videos up, at least I would hope so. But if he doesn't, maybe you should perhaps download them if you want to keep any of them. And of course, I want to thank every single person that has supported the show and supported me on this journey with all the nice comments and nice things that people have done to make the show as good as it was. All the guests that came on, all the presentations that were done. But going forward, I do have a new project on the go, something that has interested me for the longest time, and I have spoke about this before. The paranormal and the supernatural do interest me. They really do. And I have spoken, as I say, the Lumberjack story is just one of a multitude of different stories that I have. And for me, I kind of skipped over this subject as we delve straight into Flat Earth. And I've missed it. I've missed looking at these things. And that's what I'm going to be doing now. So I'm going to play you a little promo video. And I hope you enjoy it.
Hello?
Hi, is that Baldyfats?
Baldyfats.
Sorry, did I say Baldyfats? Oh, I meant to say Baldycats. My bad, please forgive me.
Right, yeah, you're forgiven. Anyway, who is this?
It's Ranty, your best friend in the whole world.
Best friend in the whole world. Right.
Okay, well, maybe I'm exaggerating, but listen, I have a proposition for you.
Well, okay, mate. Well, I'm very flattered, but I'll tell you now, if it's got anything to do with baby oil, a nice warm bath, and a surprisingly placed rubber duck...
No, you twat! I meant a podcast proposition, one where we both co-host a new show where we bring in guests to tell us some paranormal or supernatural experiences they may have had. So not Flat Earth. Would you consider working with me on this new idea?
Yeah, okay, I suppose it sounds like a decent idea, but as soon as you start getting on my tits, Runty, it's over.
In a world where anything is possible, in a world where the normal and the paranormal reside, Almost Unbelievable brings to you the stories you want to hear, but fear to hear. Join us in the pit. You have joined the Almost Unbelievable podcast with Cats and Ranty. I am Ranty. Are you there, Cats?
I absolutely am here, Ranty. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, and I'm really looking forward to the guests that we've gotten today and the story that they've got to tell us. How are you doing, Ranty?
I'm feeling warm. I'm feeling warm in this pit, but it sure is going to get hotter. We have a guest standing by who's going to tell us a poltergeist / shadow demon story that's going to make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
Certainly does sound scary, Ranty. But before we start, I do want to point out to anyone who's new to the podcast, if you want to check out the links in the description to this podcast, you'll be able to find all the places in which you can get in touch with us. And we would love to hear from you if you've got a story of your own and you want to come on and share it. But before we get to introducing the guest, Ranty, I want to start with some statistics. What percentage of Americans do you think they've seen a ghost?
70%.
70%, a little higher though, Ranty. The 18% of Americans believe that they've seen a ghost. But interestingly enough, 29% of Americans believe that they've somehow been in contact with the dead without seeing a ghost. For example, through a psychic or a medium or something like that. What about the demographics? Who do you think is more likely to believe they've seen a ghost, a male or a female?
I would say male.
And you would be right. Out of all the people who claim to have seen a ghost, 56% of them were male. So there you go.
Well, that was some interesting statistics there, Cats, and a very interesting statistic about male and female. However, today's guest is a female, and we are joined by Yalon. Yalon, are you there?
Good morning.
Hello, Ray. You have a very interesting tale to tell us. Would you like to take it away?
Sure, no worries. Okay, so this happened, it was probably the beginning of June, the instance that I wanted to share, and that was it actually happened to my daughter. She's 16. She's coming into our room. It was probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. She was shaking. She crawled into the bed between her dad and I, and we were just like, well, what is going on? And she said, there was something in my room. And I was like, can you, what do you mean? Like, as a human being, like, what is going on? We need to, dad needs to clear the house then. And she was too afraid to tell us, but we were prodding her insistently, and she knew she was not going to get back to sleep. So she decided to tell us. She said that she was in her room. She was asleep, and she woke up. She said, I was able to move. She said, I know it's not sleep paralysis, Mom, because I could move. And I said, okay, well, what? And she said, well, I looked over in the corner of my room, and I saw this black looking almost like a female figure with these black spikes coming off the top of her head and a very long snake-like tongue coming from her mouth, almost hissing at me, as she was saying. And she said, at first I wasn't really afraid, but then she walked toward me and she put her one hand on the top of my jaw and the one on another on the bottom, and she opened my mouth and she tried to climb inside my mouth.
Well, that was part of the very first podcast, The Shadow Demon. And if you want to catch the rest of that story, which goes on for another 15 minutes or so, you can download it as of today, right now, on Spotify. The link is in the description. So, as you can see, I am now working with Conspiracy Cats on this new show, this new format. I have spoken to several people, several close people on YouTube who have given their full blessing with this. I mean, I was quite surprised that they were so supportive of this, but they like the idea, they like the format, they like the idea that we won't be discussing Flat Earth on this. And I think we're going to work well together. I think it's going to be an enjoyable project going forward. It's definitely going to be entertaining, and I would hope that my audience agrees, and I would hope that they would download the Spotify podcast, because that's where we will be releasing our shows. So the plan will be to release them on Spotify, and then about a month later we will release them onto YouTube. But if you want to get the early access, and if you want to download a 30-minute podcast on your way to work, and you want to listen to us too having a chat with somebody that's come on with a ghost story or a paranormal story, then I would be incredibly grateful if you would use the Spotify platform to help us grow the Spotify channel. So the show is going to be called Almost Unbelievable, and I think that incorporates everything that it needs to be said. Is the story almost unbelievable, or is it believable? You make your own mind up. That's my new project going forward, and Brandon Toy will still be hosting the debates on the as of yet unchanged ranty name. You will still be able to get all the content that you desire for Flat Earth with Brandon, and with me, if you want to try something different, then you can always look up Almost Unbelievable. All the links are in the description of this video. This past month, I've been incredibly busy making a lot of images and putting things together. As you can see, some of those images are passing by on the screen right now. And I've been putting these onto Teespring, where we have these products for sale. There are other ways to support the show too. Perhaps if you wanted to join us on Patreon, we have lots of tiers over there where you could support us there too. And if you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Almost Unbelievable, the link will be in the description, and in a month's time we will have the podcasts released on there. You can also find us on Twitter, as we have made a Twitter account too. And of course, if you've got a story, maybe you've got a story you wish to tell us about, maybe you have a UFO experience, maybe you have a paranormal experience, maybe you have a haunted house, who knows, but whatever it is, if you have got a story that you wish to tell us, then you can contact us at admin@almost-unbelievable.com, and that link is in the description of this video too. And with that, I wish you all a great December, a great New Year, and I will see you all around in the very near future. Take care.